Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, and we are about to get started in things. I'm going to have a guest with me. Uh, with so he should be joining the live stream very shortly, and then we're going to go from there, though. So we're going to be talking about, what the topic is. It's what the Secret Service has found and things like that. So there was an attempt and things on Trump's life and things like that, President Donald Trump. And I had a premonition, ladies and gentlemen. I really did. I had a premonition that this was going down. Okay. All right. No problem. Yeah, no problem at all there, Omega. Yep. No problem at all, man. So, yeah, yep. I'm going to have a guest here and things like that. So, me and him is going to be going over what has happened and what the Secret Service has found. Yeah, so I'm gonna wait for some people to come in. I'm doing an early, I guess you say an early live stream this morning. And yeah, so because I covered the No Kings protests, I want you guys to see for yourself. Now, we didn't have any out of control people. We had some weird people that showed up, all in costume and everything, and furries and stuff. But other than that, yeah, it wasn't millions of people as they the news media is good. They know they are bad about this, though, man. Shame on the news media trying to trump up those numbers. But no, pardon the pun, President Trump. But yeah, they over here out cold, man. They're over here trying to trump up the numbers. And we you know what I'm saying? We're not even talking thousands either, because I'll let you guys see it for yourself. You've seen it. So we're looking at about, what did I say? I'll give them about 200, you know what I'm saying? Out here in Ann Arbor and things, but I didn't see these thousands, let alone millions. No way. No way, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about this. I got a little time to kill. I gotta drop off my other car. I'm in my other car right now. I ain't too long, got it out of the shop and stuff, had some brake repair. And, even though I know how to do brakes, man, and then I had to replace the caliber and all this other stuff. Man, that caliber locked up, boy. But yeah, I got it taken care of, though. So that's a good thing. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So I should be coming in like fire right now, though, because I got my Rode mic here, with the dead cat on here as well, too. I wasn't impressed with the audio. Okay, Omega. Hey, good morning, Omega. The link you gave me was trying to make me go live on my own. Oh, really? Oh, man. Yeah, because it gave me like an options. Either you can copy the link or I could just send you the link. And I just copied the link to send you. Man, that's a bummer, man. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Omega. I really wanted you on this live, man. The link you get, yeah, I saw that there, man. Welcome to the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the chat. I'm trying to get Omega on here, man. And yeah, man, I don't know what happened, but yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe I should have waited for you before going live. I think that's what it is. If you want to make it, I can stop this live and we can do it again if you want and things like this. We're talking about the assassination attempt on our favorite president, Donald J. Trump. So that's what we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, what the Secret Service have witnessed and found out. And we're going to be going over some of the conspiracy of regards to it. We know that for sure, let me see. Omega says, well, we could do a live when you do it from home. Okay, that'll be better. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, that'd be better. We can do it that way. Because I do want to share with my audience what you sent me and things like that. Because there's I read through it as well, some pretty interesting information. But as we start to embark and or actually uncover what is going on, trying to make sense of it, ladies and gentlemen. And I had the premonition after that No Kings, protests, that fizzled out, man, because the numbers, they tried to, thank you for the like too. I appreciate it. How's my audio, Omega? I should be sounding a lot better now. And I'm going to start using my Rode mic. This is the one to my camera with the dead cat on here. So I'm using that. So I should be coming in like fire, very clear. Okay, cool. So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, yeah, our favorite and beloved president, and things, which is Donald J. Trump, the greatest president of all time. There was an attempt on his life, and in fact, they said that perch, where the sniper perch is, anybody that did any type of hunting, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And I've seen those hunting perches and stuff where they sit up high, to be able to catch deer or moose or whatever. And this particular one, I think it was a 3-point perch for what they were saying. It was basically, I believe it was not camouflage, but I think it was green. They said, was it a green color? But at any event, it was in direct alignment with Trump coming off of that plane on Air Force One, I believe it is. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So, they're getting very desperate on the left, and stuff. They won't tone down the rhetoric. In fact, I had a premonition though about his safety, because right now with so much going on, we got to keep in mind Trump have really have enemies for real that want to see him unalive. You see what I'm saying? Because of now with the cartel blowing up these cartel boats, fentanyl can't get into the country. They're desperate. This is basically, they're in league, right? The underworld league with the deep state. You know what I'm saying? It's a correlation between the two. And then not only that, the same people that I believe, in my opinion, it had a lot to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination as well. So this is another thing about it, ladies and gentlemen. So with that to be said, we have some unfortunate information that there was, and like I said, if that perch could have been there for a little while, I'm not really clear. Joe Buddy says, hi. Hi back to you, Joe Buddy. I appreciate you coming on the live stream today. Yeah, man, we just over here talking about it. I'm sure you guys have heard the news, and I believe that according to the Secret Service, they said that this was actually, I guess it was actually, they had this perch thing. This thing could have been set up long before, because Trump haven't been out there on the golf. This is the golf course, I believe, is what ended up happening. Like before, where they found the other sniper dude out there. So here it is again. Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. You got to keep in mind, though, right? And it's not conspiracy no more when the deep state, we pretty much, I mean, things are starting to unravel, right? There's people in the process of being indicted, like Big Tish, right? Then we also have, as you already know, James Comey, Michael Bolton, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sorry, John, Mike, not Michael Bolton, that's the singer, John Bolton, not Michael Bolton, sorry about that, Michael Bolton, not you, man. I don't want to implicate you in this. John Bolton, right? And we're gonna have Adam Shifty Shift. He's gonna be. Anybody know that he's next anyway. But as you guys can see, right, with the deep state right now, they're very very worried because of what's going on. Trump has stopped the cartel blowing up the ships. Fentanyl can't get in here, right? How are they gonna make money? The war on Venezuela as well, too. Knocking that drug hub out. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. And I had a premonition because the stuff that Trump has been doing, and with this No Kings protests, they really want a civil war here, man. They really want it, but they don't have the numbers, though. You know what I'm saying? Antifa is being hunted. This is another thing. Cartel is being hunted. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we got to say the CCP too. They're much involved in this as well. So there's a lot of things that are going on. Trump has a lot of enemies. You know what I'm saying? And it's not looking great and it's not looking good. I'm talking about for the enemies, not for Trump, but for the enemies. It's not looking good for them, right? Because I believe that the last option they can pretty much pull is they're gonna try to do a civil war here. You know what I'm saying? Like that movie and things like that. I mean, there's already talk with Gavin Newsom already talking about the Western Liberation Front in so many words because the blue states want to break away, and we kind of see that that is the narrative where they're going. You know what I mean? To pull away. It's just like the old Confederacy. You know, in order to protect their slaves, right? Right, my ancestors, but to protect their slaves, they're willing to go to war. Regards to the slave, because they need the slaves, right? And I'm talking about the modern day illegal aliens and things like that, because they are the ones that's doing the slave labor jobs, cutting out Americans and so forth, taking on these jobs and getting paid even less than half. You know, who they gonna complain to? But all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is all tied up together why this situation has happened. Now, going back on the sniper, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have any information as of yet. I haven't seen it other than the sniper's perch up there, you know? So many of you hunted before and you know what you know what a hunter's perch is. So this is no different except for this was used as a sniper perch. And the way that the Secret Service have looked at the trajectory, if someone were there, it was in direct alignment with Air Force One, man, over there by that airport, man, which is very interesting. Big old tree over there, ladies and gentlemen. So this big tree, they're gonna probably end up cutting it down for sure after they do the checks and stuff. So they're gonna have to check out and comb all the areas to find out who was there. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man, and you guys can chime in and let me think what you guys think. I think personally, to me, that it was an inside job. You know, just like that dude that they caught that was on Mar-a-Lago on the golf course property. I really think it's an inside job. I'm just gonna. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And I know Cash Patel, they are on it. So we're gonna see. Omega says, don't they realize that the Secret Service actually does a perimeter check before president even goes somewhere? And that's the thing about it. They're desperate though, Omega. And they're getting sloppier and sloppier and sloppier because Trump, with the policies that he has written, as far as with the executive orders and everything like this, they really messing their money up. I'm talking about the cartel, deep state, as well as the Democratic Party. They're becoming bankrupt pretty much. You know, they can't get no bills passed, right? Even with this clean CR thing, they can't get that passed, right? Because I'm saying they're getting very desperate. And I had a premonition, Omega. I kid you not. I'm not a psychic guy, but I had a premonition because Trump is cutting off the enemy's legs and weakening them, as I said before, weakening them each and every time, right? And this is one of the things, though, man. In my opinion, I think it was an inside job, but we're gonna find out if they're able to find out who set that hunter's perch up like that and turned into a sniper's perch, because that is the $1 million question to the answer, man, to be able to uncover and find out who that is. You know, you guys can chime in on there as well, though. You know, but as Omega said, though, you know, they do a perimeter check. Anybody in the military, when Omega been in the military, I got friends in the military, and this is routine stuff. I mean, whoever it is. Now, I'm sure they may have maybe a reasonable suspect or a person of interest and things like that. So we're gonna see, because I can't see no surveillance there at all. I mean, you know, that's what the Secret Service job is, right? And things. So the people that is protecting President Trump, thank God of that. Yeah, we're gonna see though, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna see because um, yeah, because they will not leave President Trump alone. This is going to be a ongoing thing with these assassination attempts and stuff. And it's too bad that Charlie Kirk wasn't protected and covered down as well either. These open events, I remember I told you guys many a times, I don't like these open events. I don't like going into these gun safe zones because it's a setup. You know what I'm saying? But at any event, I'm still trusting that Trump is in the well capable hands of the Secret Service. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real, in regards to that. So, so far so good. They found it, thank God. And I think it's an inside job because somebody that would have to have high access, right, and clearance to get that in that area. In that, am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, because it ain't like no regular Joe Smo would be able to get up in there like that, you know? I couldn't even, man, they'll be on my ass. I'm just saying, or anybody's ass, if you're trying to get anywhere on the golf area over there, Mar-a-Lago. It ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't gonna happen without the Secret Service knowing about it. The same attempt when the guy, remember the lunatic that tried to climb the wall on Pennsylvania Avenue? He tried to climb the wall and, got arrested, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, man. So we are living in the time right now, ladies and gentlemen, because there is a regime change. And right now, Trump is holding all the Trump cards, right? And the deep state working in conjunction with the cartel, working in conjunction with Venezuela and all the rest of them, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? When you start to mess up crooked, corrupt people's money, what are they going to do, right? They're going to retaliate, right? Because they have built up a cushion, well funded organization that none of us were ever supposed to see. Look how long it took. Now that things are happening now in warp speed, because Trump has been moving warp speed though, man. And they don't like it, ladies and gentlemen. They don't like it at all. Omega says, here is the rub. Okay. Here is here's the rub. Here's the nub. Okay. I don't have my glasses with me today. I don't think I do. I apologize for that. I'm gonna do my best to read it. Um, okay, his personal home, Mar-a-Lago, right, has at least one sect. Right. Okay, one sec. Okay. Severe agent on duty at all times. I agree with that. When he is not there, the agent who was there did not report the blind. So here we go, though, Omega. You're ex-military. So here it is. We got to question that agent because if he didn't report the blind, this is a big issue. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say it got to be an inside job because how getting into Mar-a-Lago is not going to be an easy thing. It's not like how it used to be. Mar-a-Lago is very, very well secured. It's like Omega says, when he's not there, they always have a person there, a person or two, but they're gonna have people there, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real, you know. Just being honest says hi. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, just being honest. Yeah, that's cool. You guys can chime in on this stuff, man. Tell me what y'all think because like I said though, man, this is something here, man. This is an attempt attack on our favorite president, which is Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? For all the things that he's doing, right? Getting America back on track, right? Pulling us away from the fiat currency, right? Shutting down the border, exporting a lot of these illegal aliens that are in this country, right? Also have given us a voice, took away this policy under the Biden where freedom of speech is being attacked in line in league with these tech companies and all this stuff to try to subvert the will of the people and stuff like that. Basically stole the election back in 2020, and so there's a lot of things that are about to be uncovered. So you can see how desperate when a corrupt person is desperate, they're gonna do desperate things and things. And Trump is doing this on purpose. He's pushing the hand of the deep state. He's pushing them purposely, ladies and gentlemen, because he want them to react, want them to do something. And as you can see, they were going to try to have a sniper out there. Omega says, an inside job implies that the agent or some person who should report knowingly doesn't report report. Example, during a bank robbery, the security guard leaves the back door open. Exactly. And that's exactly what it is, though, man. Because everybody and anybody that know when a bank robbery, who do they question first? Right? They get the testimony of all the witnesses, right? As well as the security guard, because he's a reasonable what we call a person of interest, right? Which would be the security guard. Even with those bank trucks, Brinks and all the rest of them, who is the reasonable suspects, right? Your person of interest, right? We're talking about security, right? Security detail or a cop. Those are the people that they're going to get their testimonies. They're going to question them down, trying to find out what's going on, yada, yada, yada. So that's why I say, I mean, when you really start to put your thinking caps on, and that's why it's good to have some type of critical thinking, right? Because instead of just listening to it, because the news is not necessarily going to report it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to necessarily report it. And this is one of the reasons why we're doing our reporting and stuff like this. This story already broke already. I'm Johnny to come late with it, to be honest. So yeah, so with all this stuff going on, and Trump, I mean, he's really pushing them to a particular direction that he wants the deep state to go. And that's my opinion of this thing, because when you think about it, he's been winning all the injunctions, setting up a lot of these executive orders and everything, and other things where he said he ran on his campaign promise. He said, I'm going to take the power away from the government and give it back to the hands of the people. And that's exactly what is going on, though. So I appreciate a lot of people that used to vote Democrat are waking up and seeing it for what it really is. This is not conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually happening, as I speak. It's unraveling right now. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about it and looking at it, ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. If it sounds like a duck, it looks like a duck, it's a duck. And that's exactly what it is, man. The deep state is panicked out. Some of their low-level flunkies are about to be indicted. You know what I'm saying? And this is really an open and shut case with the low-level flunkies like Big Tish, Letitia James, Big Mama, Big Letitia James. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have James Comey. You know what I'm saying? This is just an open shut. And I'm gonna say this though too. It appears that Trump right now is kind of using with the lower level flunkies. He has to test the judges to see what type of judge we're going to get, because you got to keep in mind the deep state have so many embedded spies and so forth, people that are on the take, that's even judges or even AGs. Let's go on to Big Tisha's one of them, right? These people have been bought off. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, yeah, open shut. Yeah, exactly. It's an open shut case. That's what Derek says with a smiling, happy face there. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to test it. He's going to see where what's going to happen. I'm interested to see who's going to pop out. It's kind of like knocking on a door and seeing, running up the Jack in the Box and see if he going to jump out or not. You know what I'm saying? That's about the best example that I can come up with right now, because we don't know. But it's a way that to be able to test who is the judges, who are corrupt. And right now, Trump has been, like you said, draining the swamp up in Washington, and that swamp is draining, right? You have a lot of these people. If it goes 61 days, we already know, ladies and gentlemen, with the Schumer shutdown, right? If it goes 61 days, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a whole lot of firing. But right now, the judge, a low level judge, is trying to tell Trump that he can't do that. So they got to go through this silly court, which he's going to win again, because the stuff he's doing is constitutional. And I love it when the Dems say, "Oh, what he's doing is not constitutional." If that would be the case, should not be winning on the Constitution. The Dems should be winning. But if you look at it, the Dems have been losing because they're overreach of power trying to stop Trump, right? And like I said before, this is something here but they're going to try to do it anyway. They're going to try to hold Trump up all the way to the midterms. But here's my thing to the Democrat rats, right? How in the hell do you expect to hold Trump up? Because like it is, have you looked at your numbers? Your cheating apparatus is steady dwindling. You don't have the foreigners like you used to anymore. I'm talking about the illegal immigrant foreigners. I'm talking about these people because ICE is study rounding them up, getting them deported up on out of America. And if this continues to happen up into the midterms, can y'all really see how desperate the deep state is right now? This is real serious for the Democrats right now, right? Omega says, think he is deliberately waiting for winter. These protesters and soft and hate winter and hate midsummer. Yeah. Um, Note that most of these riots and protests are in the spring and fall. You make a great point there, Omega. They usually, particularly, are in let's say in the spring and fall, though too. And if you notice on this protest, and I forgot to mention this, but when I covered that No Kings protest, here's the thing about it. You guys are observant. Who did you see, right? Because you saw a bunch of old elderly people, right? The people, I mean, because I didn't see a lot of young people. I saw some, but you remember that older woman that held that sign up Omega that was talking about save or protect. She said protect the transgender kids. That was deep to me, man. Oh my gosh. But she was out there holding up a sign. And like I said, these people, in my opinion, are paid, because you see how quick that protest dissipated. It wasn't really that long, man. They were out there probably about between 2 to 4 hours. That'd be my guess. But you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them were older senior citizens, man. You know what I'm saying? This it's like crazy. How you gonna have a protest? What is this? Protest for Geritol? Paid. That's what Derek says. Derek. Okay, yeah. Coker, yeah, says, Omega says, even the young, right, even the young, yeah, even the young, uh, okay, yeah, frail wussies, right, called Antifa, right, exactly. They are weak and only win when gang up on people. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what cowards do, man. Cowards gang up on people and attack them because they're nothing by themselves. Now, as you was mentioning, that the other organization here that is pretty much still, I call them Antifa, they didn't show up because they ain't gonna show up with no low numbers like this. You know what I'm saying? And a bunch of older people on top to boot. Derek says, "You're let me see, you're let me see here. Got my glasses. I do apologize. Y'all toss a lid of schoolyard insults, but please continue about weak." So let me ask you this, Derek. Which side of the fence are you? A Democrat? Are you moderate, or are you conservative? MAGA. Which politically alignment do you align with? You know, I'm just curious. And it's all good, man, because like I said, even though we have a lot of moderates in here that swing moderate, in this case, I'm kind of swinging definitely more far right because I've seen what they've been doing, right? And this is just me sharing my experiences with the great shift, right? To the right, you know what I mean? Because I've seen what they have done to a sitting president that have done so much for the American people. I'm not a Republican shield, nor am I obviously not a Democrat shield either, because those guys get paid that spit out propaganda, you know what I'm saying? Like David Packman, you know? Boy, yeah, I bring up David Packman, though. I stay on David Packman, don't I? And that Ari chick, what's her name? Ari, that Ari chick that try to pose herself looking like a gamer chick, but she be on here running word semantics and everything. What's her name? Ari? Yeah. And people like that, you know what I'm saying? That's backed by deep, dark money, you know what I mean? But they posers and they come on here being a shield. Because to me, you got to be brain dead, right? Not to see this type of stuff. Ain't nobody making this stuff up. Because, like I said, the DMs lost, especially when they when it took our Charlie Kirk away from us, right? That was assassination, right? And it turned a lot of Democrats, moderates off because it said, damn, oh my gosh, MAGA wasn't lying. The left is really a violent group of people. You know what I'm saying? They really are. Mega says, schoolyard insults. Listen, son, I don't use insults that the pansies asses on the YouTube, right? On YouTube, yeah, um, would be offended by. So you got a twist, or you got it twisted, right? Talking about you, Derek. Talking about you because, like I said before, man, I mean, either you're paid or you're advocating for something because you on the. I'm gonna say this: the far left is on the losing side of history, man. You know what I mean? We are on the winning side of history. They are on the losing side of history. You know, because for people that support violence and so forth on innocent people and stand with Antifa, you're on the wrong. You're on the. I don't know where you align with, but I would say this: if you, it sounds to me that you're more of a liberal, and you're on the wrong side of history, my friend. You know, you're on the wrong side of history. So yeah, that's the thing about it, though. Because I never been insulted about names. I got very thick skin, so I had some of the trolls that come in here try to troll me. I done heard all the troll stuff because I troll too, but I try to troll with knowledge and facts though. When I do troll, you know what I mean. To be honest with you, so yeah. But that's the thing about it though, Omega. When you because see they've been you already know, Omega. They've been told not to engage in debates. All of them have a script. Hurl insults, right? And be as nasty and as violent as you possibly can, right? One thing about black folks is that most black folks have been liberal all their life, being Democrats. And when they switch on a party, one thing about with most of your black folk, we haven't forgot how to get dirty, to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to keep in mind, though, we come from an area over here in Detroit, where it's predominantly liberal. And just because we swing more towards the right now, don't mean that we forgot how to fight dirty. And like I said before, that's what we do, So I'm not on this passive conservative type of stuff. So yeah, I mean, we know how to do it. Omega says they don't engage because their nonsense can't stand up to scrutiny. Yeah, they really can't though, Omega. They can't stand up to scrutiny. They can't deal with it. They can't deal with the hardcore facts regards to what's going on. And we already know that those people were paid. A lot of that was paid. Soros backed it. Eric Kessler and all these other dudes. This deep money. They names ain't got a directly or directly. They ain't that stupid. They have these what's that organization Act Blue or whatever, and some of these other organizations that he actually have. So they know how to launder money. They've been doing it for a long time to try to escape from being implicated, right? Because that's what it is. These people out here are paid agitators, man, and things like this. But this Trump thing, man, with this another assassination attempt, because heaven forbid, Omega, if the assassin was there, because he was, according to the Secret Service and the reports in the FBI, it was in direct alignment of Trump getting off that of Air Force One, and it would have been. I'm gonna say this: if Trump, heaven forbids, man, I'm gonna say it, this country will go dark because there's a lot of people that love Trump, and if the left think they bad, mm-mm. Mm-mm. You're gonna have the military on your ass. You're gonna have the militias on your ass, and you also have the people on your ass. And I'm gonna be one of them. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, right? So that's the thing about that. No, Trump is well loved in this country, man, and this is a thing that they hate. Who controls the military? Trump. What do you think these militias are? We got militias in Michigan as well. There's militias all over in this country because it says so in our Second Amendment, right? Along with the military to serve and to I'm sorry to protect and to fight off invaders. So therefore, this country is not being overran, and we'll go to war with these people, whether they're foreign or domestic. This is in the Constitution. This is the creed of the military, right? When people take that oath to protect America, just because these guys are ex-military, don't count them out. They've been trained by the best, and if so, they will get activated, and the rest is history. This is something that the left is you really effing with a beehive right now. And we already know when you start to rattle a beehive to the point, you're gonna get stung multiple times. Because who holds all the guns here are conservatives, not liberals. They're just in pinning places and things like that. Heaven forbids, man, a civil war. I don't want to see a civil war. I really don't. We don't want that, you know. But Omega, you already know, man. What is possible to come? You know, what's the possibility of this? You know, so yeah, man. They're just getting sloppier and sloppier, man. I never seen this much of sloppiness before coming from the left. See, they're not used to. They're defending right now, man. See, before it was easy for them because it was on the offensive side of pushing this phony type of what is it false flags or what they say false flag operations. Now that when they push something or try to attempt to push something, it's obvious as day, man. Oh yeah, they say, yeah, that's the enemies of Trump, or that's deep state. You know, cartels are desperate too. We already know. When the CIA and all them was real corrupt, they were in league with the cartel. That's why you never saw war. The war on drugs was bullshit. Let's go and keep it real. I remember Omega growing up in the 80s with the DARE program and Say No to Drugs and all that, man. That shit was under Reagan and shit. Nancy Reagan members just say no to drugs and say yes to life. She ran a whole campaign on it. But we already know it was bullshit because you have people in this country that was sworn to protect America, but they sold us out for chicken change, man. So while they were running these ops and running this other bullshit and this war on drugs, wasn't what we had so much dope and drugs coming over here. Dope. I read that book Omega called Dope Incorporated, right? Which is another book that you guys should check out because when you think about it, dope is a big, big money maker. It's one of, I'm gonna tell you though, when you see these with these drug buses, they were what do you think they were doing with that? They didn't destroy it. They didn't destroy that. They kept it. You know, the biggest dope druggers was the CIA. The one of the biggest dope pushers that worked for the cartel. Everybody should know this by now. Shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the cartel and the people behind the cartel, man, Trump effed up their whole operation, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, really, because the border right now is airtight, locked down, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing's coming through here. They tried with a submarine. They tried with boats. They tried with a lot of stuff, though, ladies and gentlemen. Planes, boats, drugs. Fentanyl is not coming in here. Stuff is not coming in here. Even illegals can't get in here. You know, tighter than a century safe, man. Omega says the what's it the 10 USC what's it 246 yep I think that's section B2. Yeah, 24. Yeah. The what's it? Unorganized militias, which consists of members of a militia who are not members of the National Guards or naval militias. Yeah, that's what. And I thank you for that, Omega. Yeah, to clarify that. Yeah, these are private. That's what I meant to say too. These are private militias, which is 100% in alignment with the Constitution. Yeah, exactly. So this is exactly what it is. So I mean, right now, me and Omega can form our own militia. You got black militias too. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you look at a lot of your NRA and a lot of these other gun clubs, they're tied and linked to these private militias as well. You know, Says so in our Constitution, to protect this country, whether it's foreign or domestic. Heaven forbids if something ever happened to our beloved president that we all know and love, Donald J. Trump. Yeah, this is something that even a lot of liberals don't want to deal with. The ones on the far left. I'm talking about the terrorist ones. I mean, talking about regular liberals, man, because I know with the brainwashing, I know that people have watched what is it, mainstream media for a long time, and you really don't have any other outlets because they don't cover the stuff that we're talking about here. Keep it at 100, right? So yeah, and things. I think I like this microphone, man. It sounds like fire, man. The other ones were bad, man. I don't know, and I always had this microphone. Here, Omega, man. This is by Rhodes. Rode make a lot of great microphones and things like that. They known for it though. I got a Rode podcast mixer. I got a podcast mic. I'm using a Shure mic when I'm at home in my home studio. So yeah, but Title 10 USC. Okay, right. I appreciate that, Kirk. I'm gonna go ahead and read that. I wish I could read that stuff right now you sent me on the live, but when we get together, we're gonna go over this as well too, because I do value the stuff that you send me and anyone else as well too. But yeah, man. Yeah, this sniper and everything, man. Omega, do you think that we should be able to find out because I can't see it. That whoever that person that was on guard, oh man, I don't think he's going to have a job anymore because that should have been checked. How in the hell? What did they think though, man? I mean, they're gonna just let that slide. Oh, okay, you did check that. Oh, it's all good. Nothing happened though, but we found the sniper's perch. Yeah, we found it. We found his lair. I mean, no, that don't even make any sense. That guy is gone, man. You already know. They're gonna go down there and find out who the mole is. He could be the mole, He could be the mole, man. And Trump still has some moles in MAGA. You know what I'm saying? That study. And that's the thing about it. He's trying to get rid of all of the moles and corruption. Anybody that worked for the deep state via the Democrats, right? I mean, this is what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. This is some major, major concerns here. Not only for the president, but for this country. This is one of the main reasons why I back Trump, because I see so much of the positive things that he has done, far as stopping the tyranny. Because people that don't really know, they think that Trump is tyranny because they watch the news. If I watch CNN, DNC, and all the rest of them, yeah, they have your mind twisted like, damn, this guy is really, really bad. A lot of these people have never read, never actually listened to Trump or anybody that voted for him. It's like this is what we call brainwashing. It's called propaganda, right? Omega says they will not release the name of the agent because officially, exactly, Service agent doesn't have a name, right? Yeah, like Men in Black. However, it may be a report that the agent will be held responsible. Oh, well, of course, yeah, man, you're right. Yeah, and the agent, because I know anonymity is his tongue, it's his mother tongue. Yeah, so and I get that. Nobody knows who the Secret Service people really are, and things like that, because we already know, and things. But however, yeah, just talking about how propaganda works. A lot of this stuff came out of World War II. There was a guy by the name of Eric Bernays, right? Not Eric Benet, that's the singer. We're talking about Eric Bernays. He wrote he wrote a lot of books, but it's a book called Propaganda. And I suggest for you guys, if you like reading, if some of you guys may be ferocious readers, yeah, you may want to check that book out. And he's actually the nephew of the famous Sigmund Freud. You know what I'm saying? So you guys may want to check out the book Propaganda. In fact, this is stuff that has been ran with propaganda, and this is what the so-called news, they run propaganda. And one of the things that Eric Bernays talk about is that when you tell a lie, and yeah, Project Mockingbird, absolutely, Yeah, and that's a lot of that stuff that come out of the book called Propaganda. I think it was published back Omega 1928, I do believe. But what they do is that could tell a lie, right? Over and over and over until it becomes the truth, right? And we know that it works very, very well because with this great deception and the things that they've been doing, and that's what I say all roads lead to Obama, the fallen Messiah, and the great arch deceiver. So that's where all roads lead to Obama. And people, by looking at him, and I'm using him as an example, because people are mesmerized with his charm and things, how he talk. It's a frequency. How you guys doing? And stuff. Change. It's the tone, what I'm saying, and the frequency that he uses, right? The gestures, the hand gestures, the movement. And it makes you think, oh man, this is a real cool black dude or whatever, man. Well, Obama. And he ran on the campaign, won it, you know what I'm saying? And this is the thing though. We got personalities, the cult of personality, right? Is where I'm trying to go with this thing. There was a song by a group called Living Color. It was an all black rock group back in the 90s. And I remember a few of their songs. And one of those songs was called The Cult of Personality. The Cult of Personality. And that's exactly what it is. Because people, even with the church, it's not only the presidents, but you also have ministries and stuff. People fall in love with personalities, and most of it is an act anyway. And people get caught up with that, right? So that's what it is, though. So going back to this thing here with this sniper, um, whoever that was standing watching did not report that or check that or whatever. Yeah, he's going to be in trouble. He's gonna be in trouble because that's an inside job, man. All over there, ain't nobody gonna be able to go there. I couldn't go and sneak in the Mar-a-Lago. Are you kidding me? How a person get in Mar-a-Lago? It's left for like Omega say, hey, whoops, the back door open. Yeah, there's the blind spot right there. You come right in and set that up. And the person that set that up had time. You don't set that up in a couple of days. Trump ain't been golfing for all the stuff that he's been doing. He said, hey, I deserve a break. They found the perch, the sniper perch, right? You know, I mean, they had time, right? They had time to set this up. Shoot. They had time. Up in the tree, they're going to, hey, Omega, my guess, you think they're going to bulldoze that tree down, cut it down? You know, I would, because we don't need to have any type of, because we know with snipers, a lot of times they're aerial. It's easy to hit a target from bird's eye view, going down in the angle. Anybody that know. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Martin Luther King assassination on the balcony, right? You look at JFK assassination, Robert K. Robert J. Robert, J. K. Jr. Right? Senior, that is. You know what I'm saying? RFK Senior is what I'm trying to say. We know that situation was a little different, but for the other ones, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The gunmen come in and run up on RFK Senior like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Sirhan, what a name, Sirhan. What a name, man. Omega, man, I tell you. And this was before our time, man. But like I said, I do like history though, because the reason why I like it because it was once said that those that don't know from the past is doomed to repeat it and things like that. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, yep, there it is. Omega says, likely here is a fun story. In the 1970s, there were a tree that blocked the blocked the view into no Korea, North Korea. That's what it is, North Korea, and there was a skirmish between the NK, which is North Korea, and the U.S. Army. The U.S. Army won and cut it down. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. And that's what they're gonna do here. They're gonna cut that tree down, but that sniper was supposed to be up there. He was supposed to have been up there. And this is what the Secret Service said. They gave the report to the FBI that, and they looked at it for themselves. That trajectory of that lone assassin, right, to be able to hit the target when Trump got out of the Air Force One, thank God, though our president, our favorite president, Donald J. Trump, was protected once again. You know, so that's basically what it is. The enemies of this country and the people do not like Trump. They want him out of here. You know what I'm saying? They do not like the position that they are in right now. They're not on the offense; they're on the defense, and they're losing their people. The indictments are steady coming with the low tier, low level flunkies. That's why you're hearing a lot about Comey and them. These ain't top operatives; these are flunkies. Because, like we always say, all roads lead to Obama. It's just a matter of time, and Obama is very, very nervous. You can see it. You know, even on that stupid podcast show with Michael Michelle Obama, you can hear it in his voice and you can see it, that he's very, very worried about this thing. Because as Topsy is steady coming out with more and more information, so this is why we're seeing these assassination attempts and all this other stuff. They are very, very bitter, upset, mad that they never thought they would be in this situation. You know what I'm saying? They say, damn, this guy, Trump, we tried all the propaganda that we can to try to turn the people away from Trump. And not only that, the 2020, they could have almost got away with it with the people. But looking at it now, we are in 2025. Got a phone call that came in. Sorry about that, but I'm back. Yeah, man. So, and that's what we're talking about, this assassination attempt, that they have found that sniper's perch that's set up there on that big tree over there on the ground on the property of Mar-a-Lago. No one can get on Mar-a-Lago unless there's an inside job. And that person that was on watch, he's gonna be he won't have that job no more. You know what I'm saying? So, and everyone is looking at him, This person is what we call, what they call that, person of interest. And that's exactly what he is. He's a person of interest. You know what I'm saying? Anybody gonna leave that unchecked? Oh yeah, well we understand that you didn't check that. No, it just sounds fishy. Just sounds fishy, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, so once again, MAGA Republicans and the Democrats that voted for Trump are on, and moderates as well, are on the right side of history, right? The ones that's on the wrong side of history are the far left radical terrorists, Democrat, Antifa, deep state, what's it, a cartel, and so forth. They're on the wrong side of history, right? And we already know that they're losing the battle, losing power, upset, hate Trump, mad as heck, because Trump has the people. 77 million people voted for Trump, right? And then not only that, but he won the House, he won the Senate, and he also won 7 swing states. This is something of a feat in itself. They said we can't even stop this guy, man. This guy here winning on all the courts, Supreme Court stuff, And like I said, was it 52 MAGA versus 48 Democrats? Trump wants total control of the House and Senate. Having the majority is not good enough, because until these people that's implicated in this trying to overthrow Trump back in 2020. You know, all these people, and I don't know if you guys are on X, but I watched X yesterday. There was a video made with Phil Collins. You know, I love that song, Omega. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, right? I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Ah, you know what I'm saying? But that was the song there. And, it was AI generated, of course, but it showed all other people, Obama, Hillary Clinton, all of them being arrested in the jumper suits and stuff like that, man. And I do believe that we are going to see justice with these people. Trump have to bring them down because if he doesn't, it'll be a relentless hunt because he can't stay as a president forever. And we already know they already said it that they were going to go after. If they ever get power, they're going to not only go after Trump, they're going to go at anybody and everybody that was helping Trump. And I think what is it? The Dollar Tree asked Obama. You know who I'm talking about, Hakeem Jeffries. Boy, I tell you, man, he looking weaker and weaker every time that guy talk. Caroline Levitt has it all over Hakeem Jeffries, boy. I mean, you look at her, shining, right? 27, 28-year-old self, boy. She running like circles around this dude. You know what I'm saying? Man, Hakeem, man, no personality. Mr. Robot, come on out. Come on, say, hi, go, come on. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Remember that song by Styx? Remember that song, Do Omega? And one of my favorite songs, man. I wish I could play this stuff, man, but I'm gonna have to get on Rumble or something to better play my stuff, you know. But I just find it to be very fitting, you know what I mean? And I appreciate you guys coming on here, checking out what I got to say. Hold on for a minute. It looked like I missed something here. Wait a moment. Hold on for a minute, Mockingbird. Oh yeah, here we go, Omega. Okay, likely. Here is a fun story. In the 1970s, there was a tree that blocked. I read that already. Hold on for a minute. Okay, we got some more here. Um, you went silent and dark. Am I still here? Can you hear me? Let me refresh. Change the time. Come back. Bet. Gain more followers. Big time. Okay, change the time. Uh, yeah, I appreciate that, Jay. Yeah, I had some big followers the other day when I went live covering that no Kings movement. But yeah, I hear what you're saying about that. I appreciate the tip. Bill says Trump MAGA. I remember you, Bill, man. Trump got the love on there. MAGA America. Exactly. Bill said America first. That's right. America first again. Sorry to spam. No, it's all good when you say America first. I don't care how many times you spam when you say America first. You can never spam when you say America first or Trump. Let me see here. Rumble is 10 was it 10,000 X better. Oh yeah. I do have Rumble and I need to start working on Rumble more often. Gone says, which attempt are you talking about? Which attempt? Yeah, I've been talking for a while, gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm about, yeah. Bill says, Omega, be nice and don't block me. you know, yep. Gone, yeah, let me go ahead and repeat myself. Gone. We're talking about the sniper, right? There was an attempt assassination on our favorite and loved president, Donald J. Trump. So yeah, so we're covering it. I heard the story earlier this morning about what happened the other day. So luckily the Secret Service got a hold of it and they're over there checking it out, tearing it down. How did this happen? The person that was on watch when Trump wasn't there. This happened on Mar-a-Lago, ladies and gentlemen. Trump got the big, beautiful golf course over there where he wanted to rest and relax. Because Trump been doing so much for the people, where he deserved to rest and relax. Omega says, finger hovering over the block button, trying to make it got those eyes on there. He got the smiling face, a kid, right? He had gave boy itchy though. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? No, you good, Bill, man. I remember you before when you was in my other live, man, when I recovered the No Kings. All right. That's one thing about it. I don't forget a name, that's for sure. That pop up in my live stream and stuff like that, man. But yeah, he does have a point. If I come on at a certain time, I can even get more followers. He's absolutely right though, too. A lot of times, man, when I get to story, I just go on, man. Omega will tell you, I'd have had as much as one person in here, but the show must go on. The show must go on. Omega says, got to mess with you a bit. He got down here at Bill, this net, Disnet. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all good though, man. Got it. We have humor and we have fun in here. I appreciate the other like too, guys. I really do. I don't ask very much, man. I think that other day, Omega was like 106 likes, man. That was my record, man. That was like the highest amount of likes I have ever had on a live stream. In fact, that was the biggest amount, and I wish I would have had better audio. Had I would have had my Rode microphone, it would have been fire. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm at home, I even sound better than my Rode mic here. But like I said, I'm gonna get better on when I'm mobile. I'm gonna be better. So I'm gonna be using this from now on in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna use this. Therefore, you can better hear my voice and all this deep, and this has a lot better sound than this crap here, man. You can't run a podcast with this stuff, man. You really can't, though. You just can't do it. I tried, but just can't do it. I'm very tinny. I said my voice don't sound like that. I got a deeper voice, more bass in there. But yeah, but this here now. Got my dead cat on too. That's why I can have the window down if I want to. I can drive and y'all can better hear me. It's just basically it's a shotgun mic, right? But yeah, man. Yeah. So if you guys can be able to chime in on this as well, and let me know. Let me think. I mean, let me know what you guys think is what I'm trying to say. Because what's going on here with our favorite president that we all know and love. Yeah, President Donald J. Trump. Did y'all see the one where he was in the fighter jet? Mega, I know you saw it. I watched it on X, and they had the No Kings protest. They had an AI generated with Trump in one of those F-15 fighter jets, or F-16. He had this song, "A Highway to the Danger Zone." Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Kenny Loggins. So Trump dropped a pile of ish all over them. Man, the Dems, man, they are so upset. Oh, he's talking about bombing us. He said bombing y'all with ish. You know what I'm saying? It was bad as heck, man. They don't know how to take no sense of humor, man. They always want to say that people on the right don't have no sense of humor. Man, the AI stuff is good, man. Especially with the stuff with Trump, man. It's really good. I seen so many of them. I seen the one with Trump. Y'all see the one with Trump putting on the king's crown? He was being and putting on he had the scepter and everything, And I do admit when I do go on some of the other lives though, what I do is I just put down King Trump because I love the troll too. Yeah, yep, King Trump or Daddy Trump, Big Daddy Trump. Man, they really like that one, Daddy Trump. It's like what else Daddy gonna do? Daddy Trump, King Trump. Putting on the crown or whatever. Yeah. So I even trolled him and said, yeah, Trump gonna run again. He's gonna be the king. We dub Trump as the king of America. He don't even sound right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because we always saying President Trump forever, but it's like, can you imagine if we had a monarchy set up? Yeah, he got Melania as the queen out there on the side, though. All his loyal subjects. They'd be mad as hell, man. Omega says, wait, didn't their guy Biden said that your AR-15, right, can't do any more? Yeah, can't do anything. We have the fighter jets and the bombs. Yeah, exactly. I remember he saying, yeah, I remember when Biden said that. Yeah, He said that you guys, with the AR-15 can't do anything, but we have the fighter jets and the bombs. Yeah, this is what Biden's stupid behind. Well, I gotta let up on Biden a little bit, man, because he this guy his brain, it's elderly abuse what they did to Biden. And I ain't no Biden fan though, to be honest. I'm no Biden fan by all means, man. You know, Joe Biden, because I remember him back in the days. Joe Biden was a racist too. He was using all kind of the N words back in the '70s and the '80s, man. I went into old YouTube stuff and heard him berating people. Get these, out of here. I don't want my children going to a concrete jungle and all the rest of this stuff. Robert Byrd was his mentor, Klansman, a known Klansman. Robert Byrd was his mentor. He said, "When I grow up, I want to be just like him." You know what I'm saying? So he also spoke at the eulogy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, this is a lot of stuff that's going on right now, right? A lot of things, ladies and gentlemen, that are going on. What we're talking about here. But going back to the sniper, ladies and gentlemen, we they haven't given us any information yet. But I'm waiting on Cash Patel, and I'm sure they're gonna have with the press conference. They're gonna be talking about it, and I'm looking forward to watching that, and I would really like to do a live on a live with that with you guys, man, where we could all watch it together. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, um, yeah, it is what it is. Omega says either the case, right? Um, the fact of the matter is, when these guys say something um, outlandish, we hear crickets, right? A Republican or anyone else uh, breathes wrong, they scream like what's it? Scream like rabbit, yeah, ribbit falls, ribbit, yeah, free like a ribbit frog, yeah, exactly. Yep, you are absolutely right about that, though. So, well, whatever that the Democrats say about what I'm saying, this is just it's just one thing though. They want the laws and the rules to be set up for them and not for anyone else, right? If you disagree, I'm gonna tell you guys this, Omega. I had she was Indian American, first generation East Indian, South Indian Brahmin, right? In my car, she was liberal as fuck, right? Had the nose bull ring, had the somewhat dreadlocks in her hair. I said, "Oh my goodness," she was one of these liberals, right? She was cool though, but she was, politics came up. She brought it up. We were talking about the No Kings protest. She was like, "Oh, don't get me started." But she absolutely think that her democracy that we are in right now is in jeopardy. This is what she was saying in the car because I picked her up. So she think that that democracy is in jeopardy. You know what I mean? But I'm saying if democracy was in jeopardy, not that you would have freedom of speech and being able to talk against a sitting president. You would have been arrested a long time ago. It's like what they be saying just don't really make a lot of sense, because we talked about how other countries say I'm lucky. She said I'm happy to be an American because if I was anywhere else, I would not be able to have the freedom of speech to be able to talk and say the things I want to say, which is true, but it's contradictory because at the same time she's saying that her democracy is at jeopardy. But here it is. Look who's on the far left. Look at the outlandish things they've been saying. They've been wanting to kill people that don't agree with them. You know what I'm saying? I find that to be very rich. I mean, it's crazy, man. Bill says, I lost my firearms in a boating accident. Damn, Bill, for real? You lost your firearms in a boating accident, man? Man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Did you lose all of them or some of them? Please tell me. Not the AR-15, not the Eagle, not the Desert Eagle, man. Oh no, no. Just tell me, not the Luger Mini 14. Don't tell me that you lost those guns. It is a meme, Tony. I know. I'm just joking. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know. I know, Mega. I just gotta be like, I just gotta, you know how I like to do. I gotta have my plain face, serious look on there. Well, yeah, yeah, Omega busted it out. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I know. I There's so many memes out there, though, man. Yeah, so many memes. A lot of it's AI generated too. For some of, for most of them, lost something that goes. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Omega. And Bill has the smiley faces and the silly faces. Yeah, man. There's so many other memes, man. There's some good ones though too, man. Shoot, even with Trump, man. Trump got some great memes, man. I was like, damn, look at that AI stuff, man. And look at like Trump. And he got that one where he's like, "This is Sparta." Where he kicked this, kicked those guys in the chest, and that's what you have to really do, though, man. Oh man, King Trump. Oh man, yeah, man. But that protest, man, it just fizzled out. You guys seen it? Mega, I mean, tell me, Bill, y'all seen it? Yes, I mean, seen it Saturday. It was. I don't even think it was 200 people. I said 200. It may have been less than that, man. Cause they were. I know there was. It was a little more when I first started. You know, but I didn't see a whole lot. Bill said Omega, number one moderator. Yeah, yeah. Omega is good though, man. I mean, this brother here is deep, man. Y'all just don't know. You know what I'm saying? This brother here is deep for real, for real. I'm just some random guy, man. That's all. They be like, who is this random guy? Some random guy. Who is this random black guy? I was gonna put the some random black guy, but I said, well, I gotta put black on there. They know I'm black when they see me. Some random guy versus some random black guy. Riding around in the car. I could put on the license plates. Some random. He goes places randomly. I speak randomly. I even try to date randomly. Everything is random in my life. Nothing for certain. When I go live, I randomly go live. Ah, man. Have you ever randomly ate some things or whatever, which I do. I'm not really set down on a set schedule, I even drive randomly, Yeah. I can run this all day long randomly. I'm gonna save my good stuff for stand up. Omega says, well, there already is some random black guy on YouTube. I know, Omega, son of a bitch. Yeah, he already done took it already. Yep. Which is not me. It's some other random. I know this guy said, who is this some random black guy? Yep. Y'all remember that movie with what was it? What's the name of that Marvel superhero movie? It was one of them where they were fighting, and then they had some random guy. He was just a random guy. I think it was Wolverine and one of them. Yeah, it was one of the Marvel things, though. Bill says we bleed the same color and fight for the same America. We do. We do. We can't allow us to be separated in like this civil war thing that they really want, And the deep state is really pushing that. In my opinion, this is their last ploy, ladies and gentlemen. Their last effort, their last ace in the hole. Because World War III, we know that a lot of people in many countries don't want that, but what they do want is a civil war. Omega says the real name is Derek. I used to be friends with him until he decided to ghost public life. Really? He ghost you think there's what you think that could have led that on, Omega? Was there like something in his personal life or whatever? You know? I've been ghosted before, by people, ghosting. Yeah. I mean, there's already a ghost face killer already. That's from the Wu-Tang clan. Yep, the Wu. Yeah, that's a cult right there, cult following the Wu Tang Clan, man. Oh my gosh, No, Omega says, don't know. He didn't say. Yeah, yeah, that's one of those that's unfortunate, man. There could be some personal things in his life, man. People going through a thing, man, especially now, man. Bill says, Omega, I don't understand, but IGYG, Yep, yep. IGYG. You may have to help me out on the acronyms. I don't know it all though. I can make my guess determinations, you know. But if it's military talk, I would definitely not know, you know. But yeah, I get a lot of people that's military, ex-military. They rock with me. This is a military love channel, trucker love channel as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think they just busted somebody else with these fake these this CDL licenses and stuff like that. Because we got to get them out of here, man. They don't belong here illegally, and they're being rounded up, man. I support ICE. A lot of ICE agents, though. Shout out to the ICE agents, you know. Yep, yep. It's a beautiful thing. I got your back. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, thank you. You know, I don't mean I know all of the acronyms, you know. Yeah, I'm still old school on certain things, you know. hmm But yeah, man. Yeah, the day is sunning up, becoming a beautiful day, man. You guys can see that little bit of sun that's coming in. It's actually a lot of sun, you know. But we're gonna get down to the bottom of this, man. Whoever this strange attempt sniper is, man. You know, because like I said, this is not gonna be the first time, ladies and gentlemen. There's gonna be other attempts but Trump, he knows he has to go down this path, man, because his family and himself is gonna be forever targeted. And Eric Trump is very, very upset, man. I heard Eric Trump talk about it earlier. Don Jr. is very, very upset, as he should be, man, you know, and things, man. So, yeah, man, it's just really jacked up. Omega says we don't use that in the late '90s, early 2000s. We use cover, okay, rear cover, rear, okay, yeah, rear cover. Yeah, but some of these things I know, like shaking my head. You know, I know all that stuff. You know, with some of these shortcut things. So, but you know what, Omega? I never gotten into that because some people in the '90s and the early 2000s they got into that shortcut stuff, and they can't even write like sentences or letters or anything without doing that stuff. But I never followed suit on that stuff, man. I always typed everything out purposely so I didn't get caught up in that stuff like that. But a lot of those shortcuts, some of them I do know, some of them I don't. But you know, gotta GTG and all that stuff gotta go. I get all that. Um, but yeah, it has messed up people's taking military jargon. Yeah, talking military jargon. Yeah, yeah. Because I know in the military you have to know some military jargon, though. You know. Yeah. But yeah, man, did y'all hear that speech with Pete Hegseth for the Marines? You know, oh yeah, that was a beautiful speech, man. The Marines are charged up. Boy, did y'all see a Omega Bill? Yeah, we did say I on six, right? Okay, got you. Bill says, yes, sir. I served. Oh yeah, I knew you. Bill, I knew you was a military guy, man. I knew you was like Omega. And we thank you for your service, brothers, man. I was almost going to join the Marines myself right after my buddy. And shout out to the Marines as well, the Jarheads, the Leathernecks, the Devil Dogs, the first in battle, the first in war. All you guys are appreciated, boy. The Army, the Special Forces, you know, the 10th Mountain Division, all you guys, man. Delta Force, Navy SEALs, you know, Special Ops, you know, all you guys, Rangers, right? Man, all of you guys, man. People in the Navy as well too. We're in the Navy, you know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No disrespect to the Navy. There's no disrespect to the Navy, though, man. There's no disrespect, man. I got much love, though. You know, I got much love, man. For real, for real. You know, man. You guys, man. Y'all are the front line, man. I mean, you know, going out there and stuff, man. Shoot. Can you imagine if I shut off a 50 cal, man? I'm talking about the noise, man. I'd be deaf, man. Oh my gosh. Sounding like what, man? Boom, boom, boom. Oh no. Oh no, man. I've been like, they shooting. Yeah, man. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing, though, man. They shot over the I-5 this weekend, showing displaying the might of the military, celebrating the Marines 250 years. Can y'all believe that? The Marines been around for 250 years. It's a beautiful thing. Omega says, Bill, chair, okay, air, was that Force? Yeah, the Air Force, the chair in the Force in the U.S. Army. Yeah, the AR 600, hoorah, you know. Yeah, man, the Air Force, yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Jags and all that stuff, man. Yeah, man, being up there in that plane, man, with over 1,000 pounds of thrust, you know what I'm saying? Man, that's a beautiful thing, you know. Being up there in the F-15, you know, or F-20. Boy, the afterburners, you know. Man, you know, talking about you got to have perfect eyesight, man. Man, you know. Yeah, Bill says, I mean, lost in lake. Okay. Lost Lake, you know. Omega says U.S. Navy, right? Uncle Sam needs any Vaseline yet. I know Omega, boy. I know I understand. I wasn't gonna mess with him like that. I wasn't gonna mess with him like that. Now, I got a friend of mine that been in the Navy too, man. He served on the SS Blue Ridge back in the early '90s and stuff like that. Stationed over there in Japan and stuff like that. Yeah, the SS Blue Ridge, man. The one that do the reconnaissance on the South Pacific, you know. Beautiful ship. Did they commission that ship now? Is it decommissioned? I wonder, is it still out there? There's one that patrolled the Atlantic as well. What is it called? The something Ridge. I forgot what the one on the north, but the one in the South Pacific was the SS Blue Ridge. You know, yep, that ship. I forgot who the captain was at the time, but yeah. Mega says, does he have? Oh man, semen on the poop deck. That's what I was always wondering, man. They got these like ponds, man. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to go in the Navy, to be honest. Being in closed environments, you know, even in the submarine, you know, they were called seamen, you know. Bill said, Diddy. God, did he? Oh man, said because he's overstocked. Oh man, Diddy wouldn't be enjoying himself, man. I saw a lot of those Diddy memes, man. Oh, the Diddler. Oh man, don't get me started with the Diddy stuff, man. Oh man, they had the one guy in the bed, and Diddy opened the door, you know, with the song going and everything, and Diddy was just like, waking up with Diddy. Oh no, man. No. Vaseline or baby oil. Which one you want? Vaseline or baby oil, you know? Boy, I tell you, boy. Mm. Yeah, I can't roll that, y'all. I can't do that. No, we can't do that thing. No. Mm-mm. No, I'm good on that. Yeah, my dad was a USMC. Well, he's a military. Oh, he was a Marines drill sergeant. Yes, drill sergeant. No drill sergeant. I mean, you know, I got a friend of mine that was a gunny sergeant and stuff in the Marines. I know they go up to a master sergeant. You know, man, can you imagine? You know, imagine and give me 20. You know, oh man. Woo, man. Yeah, being a Marine, man, the few, the proud, the Marines. And how about the Army one? There's a hungry kind of feeling, and every day it grows. Remember that one? It was the Army, be all you could be in the Army. Yeah, man. You know, the Navy had a cool one too, though, too, you know? Yep. Yeah, man. You got the Air Force, you know? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But that's something else, man. Swabbing the deck, you know, being around a bunch of seamen off the sea, you know. Yeah, man. I don't know about that one. Being in tight confinement, you know. Yeah, man. I don't. I got a thing when it comes down to space, man. And you know, if there's a female sailor on there, ah, man. Woo, man. It'd be some relations going on, right? Hmm. Hey, Nancy. All right, I'm gonna hang up. Hold on for a minute. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live, man. But I appreciate you guys for showing up today. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. My friend has arrived, and I got to take drop this car off. But I will see you guys later on. Omega Bill, Bill. I'm gonna have to put you down. Bill, hold on for a minute, Bill. I got it. There we go. I'm gonna add Bill as a moderator too. There you go, Bill. You are officially a moderator. I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.